Welcome to another Stalls Transfer Express webinar. I am Dave. I see people coming in here. Central Texas, Connecticut, Nashville. Yeah, if you guys are joining us here, just leave a comment here on the right-hand bar, letting us know where you are joining us from. Here at Transfer Express, we are so excited to be with you guys and share some information and help empower you and your t-shirt business. And we love these forums and these webinars that we're able to get in touch with you guys. As everybody is kind of coming in here, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dave. I have about 10 years in the print industry, not only apparel, but full color and offset printing as well. And I just got to say, I've been with Transfer Express now for coming up on a year. And I'm so thankful to be here and so thankful for you guys, just bettering your t-shirt business and learning everything you can. We really appreciate it. And at Transfer Express, this is what we're all about. We're not just about creating the best transfers on the face of the planet, or at least we like to think so. But we are here to help you and your t-shirt business in any way we can. If you are an active customer with us, we do have a Facebook group that is private and closed down, so we could share ideas. You guys could share ideas and be a part of a community where it just lifts everybody up. And everybody could have the best experience with their t-shirt business, whether you are custom decorating or running your own brand. So it is really, really cool to be a part of that. Of course, if you don't follow us on YouTube and subscribe to our channel, please do. There is tons of information we are releasing all the time. And I mean, we invest heavily into the content, and that is there 100% free to help you guys out. Everything from inspiration and educational content to even exploring some business opportunities to maximize your t-shirt business's revenue. So we are here to help in any way we can. We love that you guys are here. Tampa, Texas, Washington, Maryland. I will say Texas, I'm going to be coming down to the Impression Show over the September 10th, 11th, and 12th weekend. If you want to come stop by, say hi. The Impression Shows are just a humongous just group of decorators that get together to share ideas and showcase what the emerging trends are in the print industry. And so if you've never been to a trade show, we say, hey, come on out. The decorated apparel expos and the graphics pro expos that are coming out all summer long now that events are back. We love hanging out with you guys. So a lot of you Texans that I see here in the chat, if you're around Fort Worth and you are available that September 10th, 11th, 12th, I'd love to meet you. I'd love to press a shirt with you and talk anything printing. It's so nice to be back and be able to nerd out with everybody about who's excited about printing and really just kind of furthering their apparel business. So without further ado, we'll kind of get started here. I see that we got a couple people still joining us, but we'll get this one rolling. And we are, of course, looking forward into the fall. There are tons of business printing opportunities coming up revolving around fall sports. And we won't just cover the actual uniforms for those sports today. We'll be covering everything from Spiritwear or accessories that we could tack on to a lot of these sports as well. Joe, hello. Thank you for saying hello. Thanks for joining us. And we'll kind of get started here into the agenda of what we're going to cover. So like I mentioned, we're going to be covering the new trends for each of the fall sports, uniforms, and Spiritwear. And we will dabble with some accessories. We're going to talk about the basic products and how to decide what transfer to use on what. Now, we do have a wide variety of transfers, and they are predominantly made for what fabric type you're printing on. Of course, if you're familiar with Transfer Express and our screen printed transfers, you are familiar with Goof Proof, and it is everybody's favorite. Our number one selling screen printed transfer is, of course, Goof Proof. I use it on everything from cotton to polyester, cotton poly blends, and you'll find that it works great on. I just did some bags with Goof Proof. You could do tote bags with Goof Proof as well. It's just such a versatile transfer that adheres to so many different kinds of fabrics. Now, any stretchy stuff you're going to get in trouble too, but we are going to go, we'll talk about our transfer types as we get in here. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So also numbering. If you're doing uniforms, numbering is something that is really only possible with transfers, because you're doing so much variable data that the transfers are the way to do it. And I'm going to show you the most cost-effective way to do that, and the easiest way, to be completely honest, that you could do it. They apply in just so quick, so easy to make sure they're lined up and registered correctly. The only thing you have to watch out is the 5s and 2s. When everything's backwards before you put it on the shirt, it's real easy to get them mixed up. So make sure your 5s and 2s are correct before you start doing numbers. And anybody who's done numbers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're also going to talk about some money saving tips and utilizing gang sheets to maximize your print costs, which is going to just maximize your profit. The lowest amount that you're going to pay for printing and the highest return you could get back on that. But let's jump right on in. Before we start, I just want to tell you that everything that we're going to be referencing is going to be for Easy Prints layouts. And this is all going to be, if you're unfamiliar with Transfer Express, on transferexpress.com, we have our EasyView Online Designer, which is just an incredible design tool where you don't need any experience knowing how to use Photoshop or Illustrator or CorelDRAW, anything like that. And we're talking about Easy Prints layouts. Now, Easy Prints layouts are the custom layouts and artwork that is already preloaded into EasyView. 10,000 plus layouts, clip art, and tons of customizable fonts. But we're going to be talking about the professionally created designs that you're able to customize, just like this Your Team Name Volleyball. That's just a layout that you could pull into the EasyView Design Center session, and you're able to just completely customize everything. If you don't like the volleyball, you could switch it for another volleyball, or you love this layout and want to use it for basketball, that's fine. You could switch it. The ball's out. There's tons of artwork and customizational tools that you could use in EasyView. If you have not played with it yet, go ahead and play with it. Go on transferexpress.com. If you don't have a free account, all it takes is creating a free account. We're actually going to send you some samples, so bonus. But then you could get into EasyView Online Designer and start playing around with our layouts and our clip art. Even adding text or anything you want to do is in EasyView. You can even upload your own art and build gang sheets. But again, I don't want to get it too ahead of myself. I get really excited about the capabilities of this software. And yeah, I could go on. I've actually went on for hours in different webinars of just how full-featured EasyView is. But of course, if you missed that one, it is available on our Transfer Express YouTube channel. All that stuff free, just information that we've built and invested in to help you guys out. So let's jump into our first sport we'll be talking about is football. And I see some people still joining us. For you guys that joined us late, we will be recording this so you could catch back up. We'll send it on out to you after the webinar is all complete here. And if you have any questions at all, at any time, feel free to drop it in there. I will try to keep an eye on it and answer the questions. But if I cannot answer the questions in real time, we do have my coworker behind the scenes, Mike, who is running the chat, and he should be able to drop links in there for you guys or answer any quick questions that you have if I miss them. But we want to be here. This is a awesome interactive, a webinar where we want to answer your guys' questions and we want to empower you with knowledge. So no question, too big or too small, just let us know and we will help. There's Mike saying hello in the chat if you're following along. Let's jump into football. Now, football, I absolutely love football and the merchandising capabilities of it. I also absolutely love the sport. I played football my entire childhood up to high school. I just am not big enough to play in the college leagues, so I know the sport in and out, and I know how important it is to feel like a pro, whether you're in the little leagues or the big leagues. But there are tons of printing opportunities here for football. Not only the practice jerseys, the shorts, there are all of the camps, the speed camps, and the training camps, the two-a-days. There's all of those practice sessions that could have their own branding and uniforms, the gear that the players are going to wear, even the coaches. Of course, on top of that, we're talking game uniforms. So the actual game jerseys that will be worn to school on game day. And I always love doing that, especially in high school and during the game at night. On top of that, we're talking about Spiritwear. One of the most prevalent merchandising opportunities for high schools and even colleges are the Spiritwear for the football teams. So the actual fan wear that they're going to sell at the game, at the merch booth. They're huge opportunities for schools to make some money or fundraise if that's what they're doing. And that makes a huge impact on the bottom line of a lot of these schools and stuff. So don't forget about using, Spiritwear as a ability to sell to your customers. Of course, rally towels, not just for the big games or for, colleges. It's awesome to be able to sell them to a high school. And when they have spirit nights or it's homecoming night, senior night, and everybody could, you could white out or purple out or black out the stadium, whatever you want to do. And rally towels are number one, incredibly easy to print with a heat press, and they look so great. And they're also super cheap to print in bulk. So I don't want to say cheap, I want to say affordable. It is incredibly affordable to print them in bulk. Your per piece rate drops so much, and that equals a nice profit margin for you as an apparel decorator. Fernando, another Texan, love it. And I guess football, it makes sense. You guys down there in Texas absolutely love football, and I'm sure right now you're already gearing up to the season. I know we can't wait up here in the north in Ohio for it. But replica jerseys as well. So maybe not the exact game-worn jerseys, but replica jerseys for moms, dads, grandpas, girlfriends, anybody in that, who's related to a player who wants to show the support, whether it be on T-shirts or actual polyester jerseys. We're going to talk about doing them. Tailgating accessories, a huge opportunity for can coolers, the koozies, the car flags. Super easy to print on with our Elastiprints products because they're usually nylon or polyester. And as long as they're not getting washed, the print holds up wonderful on it. Window decals, you want to show your support in a homecoming parade or a senior day or just during the season. It's so easy to create them in EasyView at transferexpress.com. T-shirts and hoodies, of course, for the Spiritwear. And we're talking all levels. We're talking from the little leagues to the big leagues. We want you to be able to make your customers look and feel like the pros. So Linda, another Texan. Friday Night Lights, absolutely. Humble, Texas. Man, we're having a Texas party here. I'm so excited. I've never been to Texas, and I'll be there in September for the Impressions show. So it'd be awesome to see you guys. Yeah, Brian, there's going to be a recording. It's going to be emailed to you right after we finish the webinar up here. We'll just cache the video on down and send it on out. We'll also send you the slides to make sure everything's here. So if you miss it or have to pop out for any reason, you can still get all this content we put together for you guys. So with football, we see that very traditional, those, property of football shirts and the jersey styles, the name of the school or name of the city with numbers on the jerseys. Everything is very, very traditional still. You commonly see, those uniforms like the Oregon State had those duck uniforms for a while, and then everything kind of just moves back to classic, bold, block colors, that same athletic font. So you'll see a lot of it continues to be the same. And what we're seeing in uniform trends, even into the NFL, is it going more to that basic, relying on the colors, relying on the branding, if it's a logo, just on the shoulder or the sides. Just like down here, sometimes you'll have decoration of the numbers just on the front and back. Sometimes you'll include the number prints up on the shoulder pads or the sleeves, or there's stripes or any other decoration. Some people are putting the actual school logo or the team mascot on there as well. So yes, I see Sherry asked, there's a link to a website or catalog that we could send our customers. So there is easyprints.com. I saw that was in there too. But if you signed up for an account on transferexpress.com, we sent you a black and white idea book, which is filled with all of our best selling layouts, clip arts, and fonts that are all just completely, it is branded for Easy Prints, so it doesn't say anything about Transfer Express, and you're able to give those out. However, if you do want one of your own that's completely unbranded, if you purchase our marketing kit at transferexpress.com, not only does it include full-size transfers of every single product that we sell, it also includes some super helpful brochures, magazines, posters that help you sell more apparel if you have a physical location. It includes a t-shirt that you could print right there, right away, that says it comes with the transfer that says I print custom t-shirts, so you could wear it out in public and try to drum up some business that way. It includes a color selector, but it also includes a custom full color idea book that we will put your business's name on, so it looks like you own all of it and you're able to show your customers that and just let them decide. Jules, yes, we do ship to Canada, United States and Canada. And yeah, definitely we do. I see Mike's on that as well. Yes. Sorry, Roger. Yes, the Ducks are University of Oregon, not Oregon State, the Beavers. That was that was my bad. And Roger, thank you for clarifying. We want to keep it all. We definitely want to keep it on the straight and narrow and on the record. Oregon University of Oregon. Thank you, Roger. But yeah, so these here, if you see like the numbers here, the QFB 201, QFB 16, QFB 142, those are our specific football layouts. And you could find all of those in EasyView Online Designer. If you just sort by sport and football, there's a humongous collection that goes back years and years and years. And so a lot of classic stuff is still perfectly acceptable back just as old as it was. And just when it was released, it's still relevant today. But we are releasing brand new layouts, not only for football, but for all of our different genres that we cover weekly. If you stay up to date with our blog, we are always shouting out, and even on social media too, we'll always be shouting out what new layouts are out or featuring new layouts in our videos on YouTube. And I would bet that there are probably going to be a few football layouts dropping by the time football season is here. So it always ends up being some seasonal trends that we'll see, and football is such a huge market for apparel decorators like you guys that we want to support you with all the tools necessary for you to have a successful season. And hopefully your professional sports team in your region and or your high school team also has a successful season. Because I know when I played football, that was something that we struggled with. So in EasyView Online Designer, you could customize any of these layouts. Now they're going to come in just black ink, but you could go in, and as you can see the little arrow there on the left-hand side, there is a little box that you could go down and change the color to whatever color you need for your specific school, college, your pro team. We'll talk about kind of advertising for your city pride while still being related to the pro team as we go in. And one's a Texas example, so that's perfect for all the Texans here today. But you could go in and easily add your color. If you need to change your fonts or anything, you could do that as well. And text does have that same multicolor setup. If you want to change one of them in an outline to no color, you could easily select that. And that is right where the arrow is pointing to, that checkered square with the line through it. Just says no fill. If you're unfamiliar with design programs, because that's kind of standard across Corel or Photoshop, Illustrator, that is signifying that there is no fill color. So it's just going to knock out whatever ink and show straight through to the shirt color, which is really, really cool when you're doing designs, not even only for football or sports, but you're able to use the shirt color as a color in the design. And that really, really gives it that screen printed classic graphic tee look. You can also add more outlines or a separated outline or any skews, arches, any effects to the fonts or artwork itself by just using the effects button. And as you can see right under our color boxes up there in the example at the top of the screen, there is effects, distress, apply pattern. So you have all of those controls available to you right there in EasyView Online Designer. Like I mentioned earlier, if you have not played around with it, go sign up for an account and go play with it. It is absolutely incredible tool to use. So, of course, the uniform trends that we are seeing now, not aesthetically, but more just on the apparel itself, they are more fitted. And you'll see those options available wherever you're buying your blanks. They're not as big and boxy like the jerseys of the 1990s and 1980s. Everything's more fitted, which I love the fitted jerseys. And you see players loving the fitted jerseys. There's less jersey to grab if you're a lineman, you're getting held all the time, or if you're a running back and you're harder to grab onto. And it just looks more contemporary. A lot of them are 100% polyester. They do have some stretch to them instead of just the old wide open mesh that used to be there back in the day. that mesh is less popular, but you will still see it because of its cost effectiveness when you are printing those practice jerseys that we mentioned earlier. So that is something that if you are getting a football team to print for, or if you're doing, not just collegiate sports, but if you're a supplier for any high school or little league, there's typically a practice jersey that you'll wear, which is a little bit more lower end. It gets beat up way more, discolored, gets the face mask discoloring on the shoulder pads just from consistently being hit. Sometimes they are a wider mesh too, so they're a little bit more breathable and they're more comfortable to be in, but they are less expensive than the more fitted, very, very nice quality game jerseys that they'll wear. Of course, with any team, you have your homes and your away jerseys. So now you're talking, you see, this is just piling up. You have so much business opportunity to print and tack on extra pieces to the order. Your home jerseys, your away jerseys, your practice jerseys, your Spiritwear, your towels. So we're just going to keep building on that. And that's for every sport. We're just starting with football here because of the huge market and audience that football has. Of course, on the 100% polyester, Elastiprints is our #1 recommended transfer for printing on the 100% polyester, especially for jerseys of any kind. It is a thicker screen print with that little bit more rubbery of a texture, so it's not as fashion forward as like the Goofproof is. However, it's made specifically for athletics and jerseys, and it's going to stand up to getting crunched on the football field and hit, and grass stains being scrubbed out of it. They are super, super durable transfers that still apply super easy. One of the biggest benefits of it too is that it applies at 290 degrees. So you are completely avoiding a lot of that, the heat sensitivity zone of those 100% polyester. Of course, if you decorate it on polyester, you'll know that the darker the color, the more likely it is to actually see scorching on it. So like a navy uniform that's here in this Russell catalog, you could see that this might run into some issues if you're printing at a higher temperature. And you definitely want those jerseys to look nice and beautiful and last wash after wash after wash. And Elastiprints is the way to do it. It's available in 1 to however many colors you want. It does need a common backing color, which is just a common outline color behind everything. And that's just the way that the adhesive has to work on it to be super, super durable. But you're not going to have a problem with that because if you notice on a lot of uniforms, if it's not a single color on the numbers or names, it's outlined in a very similar color. So you're following that same aesthetic that runs across a lot of the sports design. If it's numbers, a white number with a red outline, just like we see right here, that is perfectly fine to include with Elastiprints. Of course, if you have more of a spandex blend jersey, which there are some more of those really, really super stretchy jerseys getting out there, then you're going to want to use something more like an ultra color stretch. So that's going to have a water-based backing on the actual digital transfer, which are not limited by colors. Then you could do full color, those really cool like camo numbers that you see coming out on some special edition jerseys. That's something like an ultra color stretch, and that's going to be able to stretch and move with the most elastic of garments. Now, even if we're talking the team that you're printing for says we want some sweet workout gear, it's Under Armour and it's super stretchy, and you're getting scared, don't be, because stuff like ultra color stretch is absolutely made for that. Same with Elastiprints. So you're able to print on those trickier 100% polyester, super, super stretchy and elastic apparel with ease. And we'll talk about it in a little bit, but you're able to put all of this on one gang sheet so you could really maximize the cost if you're doing jerseys, if you're doing Spiritwear, if you're doing the workout wear, if you're doing mesh polyester shorts. There's tons of stuff that you could fit on one sheet. So really, you're just paying one print cost for the entire sheet and fitting as much as you can on it. But we'll talk about that here at the end. We'll keep going, talking into that practice gear. So you could set up using Stahl's Spirit Sale is an awesome online store platform where you could set up fundraising stores, set them with limited timers, or just set it up for your own business. So if you are specifically selling your own apparel, you could stand it up as a regular e-commerce store, or if you're custom decorating, especially with schools and universities and fundraisers, athletic programs and stuff, you are able to stand up a store specific to each school and then have them ordered directly on the site. It's just a one-time fee to use Spirit Sale. And if you're interested, just a couple weeks ago, we had Josh Ellsworth of Stalls walk through Spirit Sale, the setup, and all of the benefits of it in another webinar. But that is all available right now on our YouTube page if you want to go and you're interested in Spirit Sale. But that is the football practice gear and Spiritwear is an awesome opportunity to do it, because a lot of times it exceeds the budget of what the athletic boosters or athletic department has allocated for. Maybe it might be one shirt for the 2-a-days camp or any workout camps that happened in the spring, or even like right now in the middle of July before it gets to 2-a-days. They're doing training camps and stuff. So sometimes it's an added spend. So they want to separate it from the group orders. And Spirit Sale is a great place to put it, to sell extra apparel and have it paid for straight by the players themselves or their families. I see Mike put a link up there in the comments if you're following along with Spirit Sale as well. So football Spiritwear, if you're doing replica jerseys for the mom, dad, brother, sister, girlfriend, like I had mentioned before, or even if you want to do them on the front there where it's a very similar jersey, and then you do one Panther football mom design and one Panther football dad design, put the name on the back, you could still offer customization on those as well. Now, not only jerseys, but the Spiritwear of some fan wear too. So there's tons of different layouts and stuff that you could find and just swap your own mascots in there. If it's a tiger, an eagle, or whatever your customer's school is, there are tons of different stuff in there, like the Hilltop Hawks. That's just a football layout with the hawk put at the bottom. Like I said, there's tens of thousands of different clip art in there where you're able to just find what you need, and odds are it's going to be close enough. If you have I know we had my high school was a Ranger, in a really weird kind of looking mascot. Well, we won't say weird. Let's say unique looking mascot. And there would be no way to replicate that one in Easy View. So you could always add your own artwork. And we call that here in the Transfer Express world as an Easy Prints Plus order. So Easy Prints is our artwork. Easy Prints Plus is your artwork. But just like this, now these are, you can see there's a lot of cotton in here too. It looks like the guy in the Franklin XXL Panthers on the bottom left, that might be a jersey in there. So that's going to be Elastiprints, but a lot of these are cotton or cotton poly blends that you see a lot of those fans wearing. So this is where you could put the artwork that you're using for the jerseys itself on an Elastiprints gang sheet. You could put some of this fan wear on there as well, or if you wanted to split it off to a separate order, you could always put the separate order as a goof proof. So it's just going to print and be a little bit more trendy, a softer feel, and definitely just as durable of a print, but a little bit more versatile of an application. So you could put it on the 100% product. Now you could print Elastiprints on 100% cotton. So I don't want to dissuade you from doing that. But of course, more popularly and more of what a customer is going to think of a screen printed shirt is going to be the goof proof. So if you want to split it off because you have your polyester printing already planned on one full sheet of Elastiprints, you could go ahead and print an additional sheet if you're just doing Spiritwear with the goof proof. Or for baseball, I was working with a customer for baseball season earlier this spring, and they did the uniforms in Elastiprints, and they did replica jerseys, but they were just T-shirts with 100% cotton, and they used the same exact artwork that was on the jerseys, the same exact print, and instead of heat printing it on the polyester button-up jerseys, they just heat printed it onto just a standard 100% cotton tees. I think they did in blue, and then they did the actual like a heather gray, but they use the Elastiprints for everything to just super lower their print costs. But does anybody have any questions so far as we're going? Transfer types, or if I'm not covering anything and you want to ask some more questions, just feel free to let me know. Of course, not only Spiritwear, but there's a ton of accessories here as well for football. The stadium seats. And we're going to have, if you joined us for the first Toast to Transfers that we did just a couple weeks ago, where we printed some items live in a nice casual format where you're able to bring your own drink. It was in the early evening time. That we are going to be pressing a stadium seat for our next Toast to Transfers on August 26th. So it's not out. There's no registration out for it yet, nor is the Toast to Transfers press along kit available. However, they will be coming soon, and just keep an eye out for that. But if you're interested on how to heat print some weird items or unique items, we'll say, just like this stadium seat, we will be printing one, and we'll show you how to do it regardless of what heat press or platen size you have. We are going to be able to get you printing these absolutely perfect every single time. And these stadium seats aren't that expensive either. They are another affordable option that you could include when you're doing your Spiritwear or anything. Now, of course, with football. Yeah, so Edith, you create a design via EasyView, send it to us, and we will print it out and send it back to you. That's exactly what we do. So with EasyView Online Designer, or if you already have your own files, you can create them in Photoshop, Illustrator, anything, upload them and send them to us, or you could design online with our artwork and just change some words, change the clip art on it, or add your mascot. You could do a ton of stuff. You send it to us. We're going to ask you kind of what apparel you're printing on, and whether it be polyester or cotton or anything like that. But we'll ask you that stuff. You select your transfer type, which most of the time is going to be goof-proof, or like we're talking about here with, if you're doing any uniforms, it's probably going to be our Elastiprints. They're made for different fabrics to print on, because some stretch more, some accept, some are a little bit more absorbent, some retain moisture. Like there's certain properties of each fabric. So we want to make sure that the transfer is going to work for your purpose. That's why we ask whenever you're ordering transfers with us, what fabric is it printing on? Because we want to make sure it works. So we want you to have the best success story. This is not sublimation at all. This is actually screen printed transfers. So it's similar to vinyl if you have a Cricut or a Cameo or a Silhouette at home. However, there is no weeding, and it doesn't feel heavy like vinyl on a shirt because it isn't technically plastic. It is technically plastic in a plastisol ink, but it feels identical to a screen printed t-shirt. So you can't feel it if you felt the inside of a vinyl shirt, you could really feel the vinyl. But on the inside of a screen printed shirt, it feels more like a retail ready shirt you'd buy at Target or Walmart, or if you go to a ball game and buy something from the merch booth or the team shop at the stadium. It's going to feel more like that. So now vinyl's great if you're doing super, super small teams, or they're not on a huge budget and you can't afford screen printed transfers, and you have stocks of vinyl, because really screen printed transfers are about just as cheap as a roll of vinyl. So when you're doing more pieces than say 5, definitely vinyl, it starts to get a little bit more expensive than screen printed transfers. And of course, the more transfers you order, the cheaper they cost. Edith, if you haven't already signed up for an account with us at transferexpress.com, and I'm sure Mike will put down a link where you could register for an account. There is no credit card. You don't have to put anything in. Just put your address and your email in, and we'll send you free samples absolutely automatically of every single one of our transfer types, from the goof proof to the Elastiprints to the ultra color that we've talked about today. And a ton of other stuff is loaded into that kit. Like I mentioned earlier, there is our idea book. So it's a full catalog of all of the artwork that's available in EasyView. So if you're talking with a customer in person, you could browse through it yourself. Or, I find myself, it's on my coffee table at home, and I find myself picking it up and browsing stuff. And even though I use EasyView all the time, there's tons of layouts that I just am not searching for, or I'm not looking for it. So being able to browse through the booklet, you get to kind of see stuff that you wouldn't traditionally look for. And the beauty of it is that you're able to go through and actually and see if I found like a cheerleading layout I'm not usually looking for, but go, man, this would be great for a 80s party that I'm throwing for my office. And you could just kind of change the layout a little bit, remove the pom-poms or the little cheerleader silhouette. You can remove that stuff and put in your own stuff. So all of the layouts, regardless of what they were originally designed for, you could bring them in. Like if you really love a basketball layout and you want to kind of change it into a football team, you absolutely can. Edith, Mike will drop it looks like he dropped a link in there. Go ahead and click that and get a sample. So Jules, our screen printed transfers I would say that they're more durable than a vinyl transfer, but they are very, very similar, depending on if they are applied correctly, because I've seen vinyl applied correctly that lasts and looks great. But depending on what fabric, again, you're printing on, sometimes if you get some shrinkage in the wash, the vinyl will not shrink, whereas the shirt will. So you start to get a little bit of that puckering on the image, or around the image, we'll say, with vinyl. But I will say that like the screen printed transfers, they move because they are still a very similar substrate. However, they are liquid ink. We print them as liquid ink, pressing them through a screen, just as you would see with a screen printed transfer or a direct to the fabric screen print. Just we do it and make it easier for you to apply. So we deal with all the hassle of emulsion and the inks and curing times and flash units and all that stuff. We worry about that so you don't have to. So that the only equipment that you need is one heat press, and that's it. No cutters, no weeding tools, no nothing. Just no emulsion, you don't have to worry about burning screens or exposure times or off contact or ink viscosity, nothing. You worry about your heat press, just make sure it's set to the right temperature, time, and pressure, and we will take care of the rest, giving you absolutely 100% retail ready quality with literally very, very little learning curve and experience doing it. You could do it. Sherry, you say, does it stretch for workout gym fitted shorts over 12 colors and a logo? Absolutely. Ultra Color Stretch is the absolute perfect product for that. So it does stretch and move. Even if those shorts happen to be sublimated, we could put a dye blocker behind the Ultra Color Stretch. And so none of that dye moves into, if there's like a white in your print, the shorts are a reddish, that white's not going to turn pink. It'll stay bright, crisp, vibrant white. So yes. Ultra Color Soft is the best for basketball and football jerseys. Ultra Color Soft could absolutely work. Ultra Color Stretch may be a better option if there's any spandex or lycra. They're very, very similar priced products. And if you're doing more than, for more than a couple colors. So if you're doing 1 or 2, 3 colors, it's still cost effective and it looks more traditionally screen printed if you use the Elastiprints or Goof Proof. But again, if you are ever unsure of what transfer type you should use, we do have a transfer selector tool not only built into the upload page. So if you just wanted to know, you could go to the upload page, but it's dependent on what fabric you're printing on and also what quantity you need. So it's important to give us that information because we will, if you're only doing a couple pieces, we'll recommend a different transfer type just because it is cheaper for you to use. And if you have any questions at all, at any time, we pride ourselves on being a customer service focused company. Give us a call, live chat. You could even text us or email us at any time. And we want to be able to help out. We run 3 shifts. 2 shifts of those 3 actually cover live customer support. So pretty much if you are up, we should be up, except on weekends. We have to rest sometime. But we'll continue on here and here. Absolutely, Sean. We are happy to help. Sherry, looks like we answered your question as well. Keep the questions coming, guys. That's what this is for. We want to be able to help you as best as we can. But we derailed a little bit from the Power Puff here, but that is absolutely perfect. Answering your questions is what this is all about. But Powder Puff Football, another great opportunity to print some football gear. Talking about rally towels, we just uploaded on Monday, I think, a video on our YouTube page about printing on towels, and not just rally towels, but kitchen towels and beach towels, gym towels, microfiber shop towels. It is all possible to do with Goof Proof or Hot Split. Even if they're polyester based and you're worried about scorching, you could do the Elastiprints. But I mentioned Goof Proof and Hot Split for these towels because the sheet size is usually, for the Goof Proof gang sheets, the 11.5 by 14-inch sheets of how you order them, is very similar in size to a lot of sizes of the rally towel. So if you have any sponsors or you want to do a full huge print, doing something like the Hot Split, you could barely feel it on the towel. Even with the Goof Proof, it's very soft to the touch, and it just lays down the actual flock or pile of the towel really, really good. Now, before Transfer Express, I did work at a contract screen printing shop, and we did our fair share of towels for not only collegiate events, but even professional sporting events. And while they became humongous jobs and they were very long to run, the actual screen printing on the towels itself, because you're laying down a liquid ink onto the towel, as soon as it cures, it becomes a little bit more brittle than our pre-gelled transfers. So I absolutely, 100%, even if you are a screen printer, to make it easier on your life, so you don't need so much spray tack to keep the towel on the pallet itself. Just use a transfer. If you have a heat press, using a transfer is the absolute best way to decorate any rally towel or towel in general. Of course, unless you're doing full sublimation on the entire towel, then we're not talking about transfers or imprinting anymore in the screen printing realm. But because the ink is already slightly gelled together, when it lays down and heat presses into the towel, it holds those fibers, the flock or pile, down onto the rest of the towel, and it kind of is like laying almost like a sticker on it. Because I saw the liquid screen printed ones, you could just, as soon as it comes out of the dryer, you could just move some of the pile on the carpet or some of the pile on the towel, and it immediately destroys the print. Whereas with the hot split or the Elastiprints or the Goof Proof, when you print that onto a towel, it holds all of that down and just gives you such a beautiful, crisp print that lasts. It lasts being waved around at events. It lasts getting thrown in the washer. It lasts when you're rubbing it on you, wiping sweat off when you're working out, or when you're drying yourself off after coming out of the beach. You know, that it's just, there's so much that you could do with it, and it just looks so good. I absolutely love it. The rally towels, the PT38, available, and all of this apparel that we're talking about too is all available at transferexpress.com. So you're able to order transfers. You could order stickers, decals, window clings, and you could order custom blank bulk apparel at reseller pricing without needing a tax ID or anything that a lot of other bulk apparel resellers require for you to actually even see pricing. All you do need to see pricing on our site is a Transfer Express account. But we already talked about that. You sign up for one of those, you get your free samples immediately mailed to you, and you get access to our absolutely super powerful Easy View Online Designer. Now, this is where we're talking about skirting some. You can't rip off a football team, especially a professional sports team. If you've watched any NFL game, you know that NFL is very serious about copyright infringement with the little adverts that pop in that are, this broadcast is property of the NFL, and you need written permission and consent from the NFL to, use this footage in any capacity. So they absolutely will come after companies. And we've heard about people getting popped for going, for printing illegal bootleg NFL fan gear. So just don't do it. Try to stay away. The best way to do is just Google search, especially if you're worried about if a team name or slogan is copywritten. There is a website, Gerber Law, that is very, very, very good about listing the current copyrights and intellectual property of any major league team, MLB, NHL, NFL. They have all of these clearly listed for you so that you could see if, like, a slogan, trying to think of one here for Cleveland, like if it's Go Dogs or something, or Dog Pound. So, like, part of our stadium is called the Dog Pound, and like the diehard fans are called the Dog Pound. So, but that saying on apparel is actually a registered trademark of the Cleveland Browns. So they own that. So you can't say Dog Pound on any shirt that relates to football, or it's on apparel representing the city of Cleveland. So there are ways. The Dog Pond. That's funny, Artina. Copyright website, just Google search it, Alicia. But I believe it's Gerber Law or Gerben Law. And they keep kind of like a running tally of all of these teams. So even one thing that was shocking was Kansas City. So the word Kansas City in a script and tail kind of baseball format is actually an owned trademark of the Kansas City Royals. Same with LA. So Los Angeles in script and tail is owned by the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers in script and tail in any form, not even just in blue or gold or white, in any form is registered by the team. So you just have to be very, very careful of how you do it. Even seeing as it becomes more hip and trendy, you see a lot more teams snatching up more of the like losing the vowels. So Dodgers would just be DGRS. Or Cleveland would be CLVND. So you see a lot more of these teams pulling that up because they are making the fan wear, the Spiritwear for their teams, and they want to protect their ideas and their designs from being copywritten and losing them money. Of course, the NFL is every major league sports is all about the money. That's why they do what they do. And of course, major league sports are a humongous business opportunity for not only the teams, which cost a lot of money to run, but also the stadiums, the vendors. There's tons of money involved in that, and they want to make sure that they're protecting their cut, and they will prosecute you. So it's best not to do it. But that's how we see here these examples. Cleveland football. So right there, the skyline, the football in the shape of Ohio, there is absolutely nothing about that that's violating any copyright. Lauren, there will be a replay of the webinar sent out after this. But Cleveland football, there's nothing about that copyright. Or here, obviously, it's time for Texas football, y'all. There is a football. It says Texas. It's in gold on navy. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and you would know it if you're wearing it in Dallas. But nothing about that shirt says anything Dallas Cowboys or NFL, or so you could get away with doing that. But just like how I was talking about gang sheets, and I don't want to distract from the fan gear or the kind of city pride stuff that you could do to represent your national team if you're selling apparel on your own or want to add something to your store. You see the gang sheet here. So it's time for Texas football, y'all. And this is what Easy View Online Designer looks like at transferexpress.com. But inside that dotted line, right to the right of it's time for Texas football, y'all, are a whole bunch of inside tag prints. So this is the beauty of gang sheets. Even if you're doing one full center chest print, along the side of the sheet, you could also do inside tag prints and brand your shirts with your name. A lot of places and cities allow sidewalk vendors on game day, and that's fine as long as you are not selling any copyright infringement clothes and you have the proper permit, you have a business ID. Go through those steps because it's terrible to be packing up your shop as you're getting chased off by the police. So just make sure you're doing it legally. But doing that is a great way to get in front of some new customers as you're saying, hey, as you're coming down to the stadium, buy this shirt, and then they see the inside of it and they're able to go to your website. And if you do custom apparel too, they could next time that they need shirts, it's just, you could put this marketing opportunity together for absolutely zero added cost. You're paying for the transfers. You could put the inside tag print or just print your own business's logo right there and be able to have those. Kathy, that is an Easy View design. So I believe it's actually called it's time for Compton football, y'all. But you could change it to whatever city you want or whatever stuff that you need on there. Barbara says she really likes the Elastiprints. Finished using them on a bunch of Spiritwear Sport Tech shirts, and absolutely perfect. 90% of the stuff that I've used from Sport Tech is polyester. And I hate to say it, but Sport Tech has a tendency to scorch. It is heat sensitive. I absolutely love the fit, finish, and feel. And a lot of athletes do too. However, as a printer, it can be really frustrating when you get those heat-sensitive apparel items that show the platen marks or they're scorching at a somewhat low temperature. If you're using like the Goo Proof at the 325 degrees, that's absolutely what makes the Elastiprints so great, is because you could get them down to 290 degrees, apply them, they look just like a screen print still. They're super durable, and you completely avoid scorching a lot of that 100% polyester. So, Barbara, absolutely true. That is awesome use of Elastiprints. And I bet that Spiritwear stuff on the Sport Tech turned out awesome. Next sport we're going to talk about here today is volleyball. So volleyball, another fall sport, and tons of layouts. If you're not in Easy View following along right now, then you should be. If you're driving and listening along in the car or doing other stuff, then don't get in trouble doing Easy View. Wait till you get home, then open it up and check out all these layouts, because we have tons of volleyball layouts, and I think we just added more just a couple weeks ago. One of my favorite layouts in Easy View, just flat out, hands down, is a beach volleyball layout that you could use for any volleyball team. So it's really, really cool. But you could see these just for any school, any league. I don't know about where you guys live, but like actually in the fall, there's these volleyball leagues that pop up at bars. And there's tons of bars and like restaurants around here that actually have like full outdoor beach volleyball courts. I don't know if that's the same where you guys are around. But it is huge here in the Northeast Ohio area of like bar league volleyball. And that's something that you could get on too, especially if you are, you find the business opportunity with the bar and they have 12 teams competing for a tournament in that fall season. Holy Moses, that is a lot of printing opportunities that you have that you could harness and take advantage of. And the more pieces that you're doing, the more profit it becomes, and the more repeat businesses, because now they have not only the fall season, but there's a spring season or something too. Like you gotta be doing that. Edith, so 60 sheets, if we're saying it's goof proof and you created it online, 60 sheets of goof proof, one color, or Elastiprints, one color that you created in EasyView Online Designer would turn around. If you ordered it by 11 a.m. today, it would ship tomorrow. If you ordered it by 11 a.m. yesterday, or 11 a.m. tomorrow, it would ship the next day. So our production cutoff time is 11 a.m. per day. So if you get your order in by 11 a.m., it counts as starting that day. One color easy print screen printed orders, so our Elastiprint, goof proof, hot split, stuff like that leaves the next day. So one business day turn time. So it ships to you. And depending on where you live, it could be as low as 1 day transit, or if you're in the Ohio area, you could come stop by our beautiful Menor, Ohio facility, see Patricia at the front office, and she would be happy to hand you your order so you could save on any shipping fees. So yes, I see Mike put the turnaround schedule in there. So depending on your order, I believe that Ultra Color orders start at 3 days to 4 days, depending on the product of what you're doing. But our screen printed orders are next day for Easy Prints orders if they are one color. Adding another color adds, I think, a day to that turn time. But go to that link there and you can see all of the shipping, delivery, and order turnaround times. As we're talking about volleyball, of course, like I said, we are adding new layouts all the time, and those are two of our brand new layouts. We saw the Somerset volleyball one at the beginning, a little bit of that like fun texture where it's almost like kind of graffiti style, a little bit dirtier with some nice sparkle, and then something a little bit more classic. But like I mentioned, there are tons of different stuff that that you could pull in. If you see a basketball layout that you want to use for volleyball, you absolutely could just swap the basketball out for a volleyball. Or if you want a football layout or a baseball layout and you just love the look of it, but you say, I wish that baseball was a volleyball, you absolutely could. And I bet that we have probably 6 to 10, maybe even more versions of actually a volleyball. So there's this volleyball with a little bit of texture on it. There might be one that's a little bit more stylized with thicker lines, or there might be one that's kind of like a silhouette, and so you only see the highlights on it. Just go on EasyView Online Designer, play around with it, and you could see how much clip art there is for each specific sport, and it's all customizable. Names, layouts. You don't like that font that volleyball's in, you could change it. You could change all of it, and there are hundreds and hundreds of fonts that you could go through, just tons of stuff. Of course, like I talked about, you could get the bulk apparel too. So these are all these are just some of the volleyball styles that we have available on Transfer Express, the Port Authority, or the Port and Company, or even Augusta Sportswear, the Color Cross, the Dig, the Hit, the Sets. I love the way that they name a lot of their uniforms, Nitro jerseys and stuff like that. It just makes them really memorable. And then it makes it easy for you. Like, I find that the customers will remember that more than like a mill number. If it's like the DT569, nobody's going to remember that. But if they're like, man, last year we ordered the Dig jerseys and they were sweet, we want to order the Dig jerseys again, they happen to remember them. And that just makes your life a lot easier when you're ordering custom apparel. The bulk apparel, I'm sorry, and your customers ordering custom apparel. But yeah, all of these are really, really cool. Now, a lot of these are 100% polyester. So of course we'll be using the Elastiprints if you're doing 1, 2, 3 color prints, or the Ultra Color if you're doing anything else on top of those. So not only do volleyball, the season is going on and you have your Spiritwear for the family members and stuff if you're talking about high school sports, but you have your home jerseys, you have your away jerseys, you have even the shorts. We sell the volleyball shorts at the wholesale apparel section on transferexpress.com. And some of the time you'll even see numbers decorated on there, which are perfect. If you're doing any numbering, we have our stock names and numbers, or stock numbers that you could buy. And doing the names with the express names is just a super cost-effective, affordable way to put all of the uniform together. But On the shorts, a lot of times you will see the numbers for volleyball players. So just like that 6, you could get that 6 and boom. See, Gerben, not Gerber, Gerbenlaw. Thank you, John, putting it in the comment section. So everybody right there, that is the sports leagues. So that has a good running tally, and it'll tell you if it's pending or if it's expired or if it is an active live registered trademark. So thank you, John. That's super, super helpful. Really appreciate you putting in that. So not only are we talking about the uniforms, a home and away, but we're also talking about events. If it's a charity volleyball tournament or a volleyball tournament, your state tournaments, the traveling teams have tournaments. So there's all of these occasions to print more volleyball gear. I know right here by Mentor, Ohio, we have a kind of like Olympic training facility called Spire Institute. And they do tons of tournaments and events, and they are consistently doing jerseys for each one of these teams for all of these events, different colorways. There's just tons of business opportunities. And all you have to do to win these opportunities is go to a school and ask, because a lot of times they aren't under contract with one specific vendor. However, you do have to go through the process of getting approved as a vendor for schools. But as long as your bid could match what they're already paying, you or undercut it, they're going to choose you. One of my favorite ways to get new business opportunities is approach who's in your community and local. A lot of times people will want to support the community or support locally. So if there is no apparel decorator in your immediate area, even if you're in a suburb of a major city, go to the schools and businesses in that suburb and tell them that you're local, that you live in the community, you would love to support the education system or the athletic boosters or whatever athletic program, and that especially if you like you had graduated from that school, they love having people come back to support them and be a part of the community. And that's really what these organizations are for. But if say they're ordering with like Custom Ink or somebody like that, it is really, really super easy to get in there and get that business for yourself. And all you have to do is say, I am local. You could pay what you're paying now, and I could improve your turnaround times and show that I actually care because I'm a member of the community. I would love to come and, come to the games. I'll pay to come to the games to eat nachos and eat some pizza in the stands and watch a football game on a Friday night. Because come on, that actually sounds like a wonderful idea for a Friday night here after the last year that we had. So, so absolutely, there is, there's tons of ways that you could earn this business. And just focus on your local community. That is the number one place to start. And all it takes is a phone call or an email or stopping in. Because a lot of times, if somebody's, especially for schools, the athletic directors are in the board office or they're in the school because they're also a teacher. And just being able to come in, talk to a secretary, hey, I'm an apparel supplier right around the corner. And I was wondering if I could help you guys out. I would love, to get in. And sometimes even you could put your own logos when they're looking for sponsors. You could include your logo just for giving them a little bit of discount on apparel. And from one apparel decorator to another, discount never is actually a discount. I still make money off every single order when I quote unquote, I did my air quotes here, quote unquote discount orders. You still have them cover cost. You're just reducing the amount of profit that you make on it. But I'm okay doing that for some business opportunities, especially when sometimes they'll be like, oh, if you sponsor and you write up an agreement, they'll print a banner with your logo on it and hang it on the side of the fence for the football stadium. So however many thousand people see it through the season. So there's tons of opportunities there. You just have to go out and get it, and they are not hard. Don't be intimidated calling or sending an email or talking to somebody, and you're going to find that the more you do it, yeah, we're all going to get rejected. We're going to get told no, or no, we use this vendor and we're not stopping. We're not doing anything. Like, you're going to hear that, but don't get discouraged. You will get the business if you just stay persistent and bid it out. Of course, don't undercut the prices. You want to be able to make money doing it and make it worth your time, but just don't get scared. You can go get these opportunities. So talking about what to use yet when, screen print, the goof proof 1-2 color application going on cotton or poly cotton blends. A lot when we start talking about some school league, high school, middle school league, a lot of those uniforms start becoming regular t-shirts or those like, I don't want to say like tank tops, but more like the sleeveless women's tees. They're in that fitted style. Those are 100% cotton. So you can get away with using goof proof. There is no price comparison between goof proof and Elasticprints. The screen prints are all the same price. Now, if they do have 3 or more colors in the design, that's when you're going to get into that ultra color line. That's going to get a little bit more expensive, depending if we're talking. If you're printing a 4-color screen print order, it's more expensive than if you're doing the ultra color in a full color print. So you can see where that lays out. And a really cool feature of Easy View, if you're playing around with the designer, on the right hand side, there is a configurator where you could select which product type you want to use, and it's going to tell you if like you could bump to the next quantity and it's cheaper, or if you switch over to ultra color, it'll show you that it's going to be a little bit cheaper. And I always like to have a little notepad and write down the pricing so I could take some notes of what the pricing is, so that you could get the best deal and maximize your profit with the lowest print cost available. So another sport aside from volleyball that's a little bit easier to get and super easy to print on, because you're doing mesh shorts, breakaway pants, or like hoodies, or those like I don't know, they're like cross country like tank tops. I know there's an official name for them, and it's on the tip of my tongue and I can't think of it, but those are usually made out of polyester because they are a little bit more moisture wicking. That those, like the track and field kind of tank tops that you're going to be printing Elastiprints on, because 100% polyester, you don't want them to scorch. But like right here, there are numbers on the actual hooded, the hoodie pockets, which is really, really cool customization that you see done for marching bands or cross-country teams, track teams, even football teams. And you could use our express numbers for that. But I don't want to get you into that. Right there, the hoodies could be an Elastiprint or a goof-proof transfer with just being a what looks like a 1 or 2 color print if there's a silver on that I can't see. But you could do, there's tons of stuff that you could do. Even if the team has a canopy, you could take one of the extra full color transfers and just press it right onto there, especially with a lot of those canopies being 100% polyester or a polyester and nylon blend. Elastiprints prints just perfectly on it, and all you have to do is pull it off the tent. It takes 10 seconds to print an Elastiprint transfer, let it cool down, peel the paper right back up, and it is perfect. You don't wash them. They sit in the sun. They're light fast. They look fantastic. And it's awesome customization that you could do on there as well. Of course, we're not going to mention it here because it's not necessarily a sport, but to support the football team, the marching band has tons of hoodies, sometimes even sweatpants that they practice in, T-shirts. These are all opportunities that if you nab one of these sports, you have the in with the school. Try to get the other work, because it could be very, very fruitful for you and your bottom line, putting but a lot of cash in your pocket. Of course, top cross-country layouts, just like we talked about marching bands, there are marching band layouts too. There's layouts for anything in Easy View Online Designer. You're starting to see the pattern here, that we have all this stuff built, ready to rip for your business to succeed. So these are some of the most popular ones we've seen this year, and the most ordered here throughout the past, I think because of 2020 being such a weird year, we've tallied ours through over the course of 2 years. So not only do we have new ones that get added weekly, but we also have a running tally, and those always bubble up to the top. So when you open, if you're just using the search feature and going through and kind of browsing by sport, you'll always see the most popular ordered on top. When you first open Easy View, it's even going to show you the most popular of like the month, what is currently trending. You can see what other people are doing, which is great if you want to get a shirt that you know is going to sell because this is what people are selling. Or if you want to be unique, then you know kind of what to avoid or what not to specifically use. So cross country too, if you are doing the hoodie pocket printing or printing on the hoodie and you don't have a smaller platen, now like the pink craft press that we have available at transferexpress.com, it's in stock right now. It's shipped same day. If you don't have a heat press, that has a 9x12 platen print area. So that 9x12 area is perfect for printing on hoodies because you're avoiding the hood seam and you're avoiding that lower pocket seam. But we actually have a video about how to use these mouse pads to print in some areas. And like I had mentioned, if you want to press along with us, we will have Toast to Transfers coming up, which is a live casual printing event. So it's very similar to this, but we are live in front of the camera and we walk through application. You buy a pressing kit before the event. We ship it to you, has all of the materials that you need to press exactly what we're going to show you. It's 25 or 35 bucks. It's not expensive at all. And it's a nice way to get accustomed to heat printing and learn some tips and tricks, whether you're brand new to heat printing or you've been a heat printing pro. We kind of build something in there for everyone. So I see Mike linked into Craft Press, $310, nice pink color. And it looks great in any craft room. My wife wants one for her birthday, but she also wants a Peloton. So the Craft Press is a lot cheaper than the Peloton. But yes, so just like how we have here, if we follow it down through the right-hand side with the image. So if you're printing that mouse pad, we have available on transferexpress.com for, I think they're $3, super, super cheap. So you can even cut them up, but it raises the print area just enough to avoid any of those seams and gives you a nice, it's not a pillow because a pillow is too soft for the screen printed transfers. The screen printed transfers need a firm pressure to be pushed into the fibers of the fabric. So the mouse pad is just, it's soft, but it's just soft enough and just firm enough that it acts as a perfect print surface. But all you have to do, just like we showed here, take it, make sure it's the right size for the transfer, go ahead and fit it on the inside of the shirt. And then you can see that raised area in the middle photo. And so you pre-press it, and so you get your nice, you get the moisture and wrinkles out of that area where the mouse pad is. You put your transfer down on it, which is the bottom photo, and then pull it all down. Make sure your pressure is right, because obviously your pressure is going to be super, super tight if you were printing and just added a mouse pad. And as you pull it on down, then it adds that extra layer and it raises the print area up just slightly, so you are able to get a nice, beautiful print. But we show it in a whole bunch of our videos on our YouTube. We cover it in a lot of blog posts. And I don't know if we're going to be doing it at Toast to Transfers, but the last Toast to Transfers live pressing event that we did show it in use. And we actually gave you a mouse pad too. So big added bonus of these, it's not just transfers and apparel and or items that you will print with us live, but also some tools that we'll give you that you could take and use down at any time in your heat printing business. Of course, soccer, another huge, huge printing opportunity. We're talking equipment bags, team uniforms, the Spiritwear, and practice wear is another thing too that the soccer team wears, whether it be the Under Armour style shirts, the long sleeves, the even as like the season stretches into the winter, some of the colder weather gear, the thermal stuff. But they have the shirts and jerseys and yeah, tons and tons of stuff. The shorts that you see numbers becoming on more and more. Even shin guards. Sometimes there are team logos or numbers on specific shin guards, and you absolutely could print those with Elastiprints, or like shown here with this multicolor print and the fade and all that detail, you could do that with an ultra color print as well. Soccer, of course, here are our top styles and layouts for soccer of what we've been seeing here in 2021, and we have some really awesome tournament-specific ones as well. So cool kind of feature we want to talk about is doing a color change or doing two orders. So what you could do, if you're using light or dark, you can do two orders. But if you're doing like home and away jerseys, you're doing the same exact artwork. One of them is black on a light blue and then white on a dark blue. So what you can do is all you have to do is select a color change, and it's just a $15 charge. That regardless of the quantity of what you're doing, it just switches the ink out when you're printing it. Now, all of the ink on the sheet of one color has to switch to another color. So you can't like say, oh, well, it's black in this version and I want the soccer ball to stay black, but I want the rest of it to turn white. You can't do that. And then also when you're doing a color change, everything has, just it has to be the same. And then so if you're doing like the soccer ball here at the bottom, if you wanted to invert that, like if you do see where the check mark is at the bottom, where it's not actually the exact same artwork, but the ball is inverted. So that's something that you're not able to do with a color change. So that's something important to keep in mind is if you are invert, some things like a soccer ball especially looks weird when you invert it. Now, it might look weird to you, it might not look weird to the customer, so make sure that you're always proofing things with them and let them know how it's going to look if you're doing the same artwork, kind of like this. So you can do a color change, but at the same time, for a soccer ball artwork like this, the show-through areas that show through in the top example, the bottom right example are actually reversed and set to the actual ink color. Now, we kind of show that back a few slides with, you could see the show-through, the no ink swatch in the left-hand side of Easy View, and you'll see it if you go around with it. If you want more in-depth information, like I said, it's all available on our YouTube channel or the blog. Of course, the popular soccer styles here, the cutter, the lightning, the genesis, the attacking, and these have like differing color block bands, and these are available in a wide variety to make any team easily look like the pros. The one soccer jersey that I like a lot, and it's not as popular anymore, is the Nitro jersey. Kind of almost gives off that like esports vibe. It's not sublimated, but it does have a lot of that color block and pattern in it, and the sharp lines, and yeah, it's nice and mesh and super breathable. But it kind of mirrors that tech look that you see a lot. Cheerleading, one huge opportunity after another. And I mean, if you're getting all these from one school, holy Moses, you have all of you're printing every single day, making a lot of money all from one customer. That's like best case scenario. You know, you have the guaranteed quantity, everything in there. So the cheer invitationals, specific events, the actual cheerleading teams for the specific school, they'll have t-shirts, they'll have the uniforms. Sometimes those uniforms are embroidered. So if you're not running an embroidery shop, or if you're doing the tackle twill, that is not, that's a little bit past the decoration method of what you're available to do. Of course, our sister company Stalls makes a very, very nice vinyl that you could actually order that mimics tackle twill. No sewing involved, and it actually looks spot on the tackle twill, only using like a heat transfer vinyl. So it's really, really cool. Go check that out at stalls.com if you want to, if you're interested in that for your business and you just have a heat press. Even if you don't have a cutter, they could cut it for you. But yeah, that's just one of those weird unique products, we'll say, that's specific to cheerleading. But there are tons of actual cheer gear that they give to the team. I think my high school had at least 2 or 3 different kind of spirit styles, whether it was like the warm-up jacket, the regular t-shirt, and I think they even had like tank tops or crop tops that they had as well. So 3 different styles of t-shirts for the entire cheerleading team, let alone if the school also has like a travel cheerleading team that isn't just for a specific sport. If it's like football cheerleading or basketball cheerleading, but it's competition cheerleading, there's more business opportunities right there. Of course, we do have full color options available here too. So the Compton Cheer Finals 2021, you could change that just to a school name. It doesn't have to be for a tournament. And of course, the Ultracolor Soft goes on cotton, polyester, and poly cotton blends. The Ultracolor Stretch for nylons, the Lycra, spandex, super stretchy stuff. And then the Ultracolor Stretch with blocker if you're printing on any sublimated apparel. So you'll see traditionally a lot of it these days is the digital camo. So a lot of that digital camo gets in there too. So any questions that we have as we're moving forward here, I just want to make sure that that you guys are still with me and that we're answering any questions that you have. Don't worry about, you know, if it's on topic, off topic, we want to be able to help you as best as we can here. And we are getting near the end of our presentation too. So now is the time if you have any questions to ask those questions. We're going to be talking about numbers next. Now, numbers are a huge part of printing any uniforms for sport leagues, anything. You're going to need to number it. And there's no better way to number it than with custom transfers. We make it so easy and so affordable with our stock numbers. Now, if you order them, they ship same day. So they are very, very quick if you're doing anything. Edith, yes, Stalls is different from Stalls Transfer Express. Stalls focuses primarily on the actual like heat transfer vinyl and the material side, where we are affiliated and we are a partner of Stalls. We are separately just straight focused on screen printed plastisol transfers. Rebecca, I see you say, is there a way to get a specific font for names that is not on Transfer Express? There is. So you could create them in EasyView Online, or you could create them in Illustrator or Photoshop and upload them yourself. Or if it is a popular or free use font, we may have, just ask us and we could work on getting it added into EasyView, because odds are if you want to print it, other people do too. So we would be able to add that font for you. And we take requests all the time, even for artwork. If you have an idea or have artwork that you say, like, hey, this would be sweet to have an EasyView, just let us know. Email us, info@transferexpress.com, and we will be able to do them. Let's see, there was another one in there. Ultra color and stretch could be done on gang sheets. They absolutely can, Sherry. They could also be done as individual images. So there are lots of questions there. I think I got most of them there. But with the numbers here, we'll go back to the numbers. Super easy to register. You buy them in packs of 5 of each number, or you could buy them in large full packs depending on the size or the color options of what you need. They are really, really super easy. And if you haven't seen the numbers applied, super easy. We have a video on the YouTube of how to do it. And all you have to do is just touch the sides of the paper together and they are perfectly aligned. So really, really cool. 1 color, 2 colors, tons of different options that you could have. They are all the same application, so you don't have registration errors or having to print one number at a time, another number. They're available in both goof-proof and elastiprints, depending on what substrate, what fabric you're printing on. And like I mentioned, they're sold in packs of 5. You could buy team packs or full league kits. So it comes with a big box that has all the numbers pre-organized, and you can just peel them out as you need them. Put them down, heat press them, and they work with the same application as the names there. So you see the Sullivan at the top. You could print the name and the numbers all in one go. 10 seconds, boom, you're done. On a polyester football jersey like that. So you could knock out an entire team of 50 in just an afternoon. So gang sheets. This is where the magic happens, like I talked about. There's tons of different ways that you could fit everything onto one sheet. And I'm glad you guys are asking about it. So you are already got those wheels thinking of how you could reduce your print costs and charge your customer the same as if they're still buying the printing. You're just looping it all together. When you order from Transfer Express, you are ordering a screen printed transfer on a piece of paper. So that special release paper that we have formulated to work perfectly is 11.5 by 14 inches for goof-proof and elastiprints transfers. So you are paying for that full sheet whether you use it or not, so you should use it. It is the easiest way to reduce your printing costs by fitting more artwork on there. Say it's $2 per sheet at the quantity of what you're printing. If you have 2 pieces of artwork on there, now that's $1 a print. If you have 4 pieces of art on there, that's 50 cents a print. Like, you see how you could dramatically reduce the total printing cost. Even if you have extra room on the sheet, think about the marketing potential for your own business. You're always going to be, you could be using little tiny sleeve prints or inside tag prints, the upper back prints to just highlight your own specific brand when you're selling your apparel. So all of this stuff is on here. You could always use the add buttons. If you already have your artwork, if you uploaded your own art, you could add the add buttons, the add text, add clip art, add layout, or add your own art. Of course, to any sheet, if you're buying it and you designed it with the Easy Prints designs and the layouts or the clip art, and you add your own logo that you uploaded from Illustrator, that is going to change it's going to change the entire order to that Easy Prints Plus, like we talked about. So it's going to add another day to the turn time, and it adds a small fee because now we have to process your art, but it's all built into the price you see. There are never any hidden fees on transferexpress.com. So if you use our artwork, it's all formulated super easy and easy view. So it just moves right through, and that's how we're able to print it the next day. So I had mentioned the size of the screen printed gang sheet of piece of paper. That is 11.5 by 14. And then if you're using the ultra color, it bumps up to a little bit larger size, 11.5 by 18 inches. And that's for the ultra color soft, stretch, and stretch with blocker. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for attending. If you have any more questions, I'm very happy to answer them here. If you get them in here quickly before I wrap up my my end spiel, of course, we want to help you guys, and we are dedicated to helping you and your t-shirt business in any way possible, whether it be the inspirational, educational content that we have on our YouTube, exploring new business opportunities, just like this webinar. And there's tons and tons of stuff that we put out there. We just want you guys to know exactly what could help you in your t-shirt business. Replay of this webinar, you will get a replay, Cyril, of this. It'll be emailed to the email address that you signed up with. Francis, do you have info on what size of artwork is recommended based on the size of the shirt? We sure do. It's on the blog. We actually have an awesome video of how to size and place your own artwork on our YouTube. And traditionally, I think it's off the top of my head. Maybe Mike might be able to tag you here, Francis, and tell you what blog post it is specifically or what guide we have on our website, because we have tons of resources. But it's about 11 inches wide for an adult, 9 inches wide for a youth, and 6 or 7 inches wide for like toddler, infant. So yeah, it kind of really varies based on the size there. Paul, there is not necessarily one way to get one sheet. It is the same price because screen printing, a lot of it is in the setup. We do offer some products like the CAD prints. So the CAD Express, CAD Opaque, vinyl, it's cut and print heat transfer. And that's available with no minimum for samples. But for screen printed transfers, a lot of the setup is. So, I mean, we would have to charge you the same price for 5 as we would if we just printed 1. So you might as well just get 5, put a whole bunch of your extra logos on there, stuff that you know that you're going to print, and be able to get that. If you need it, Paul, here just for one, if you just want one sheet to test it and see the quality, just ask us, and we could send you samples so that you could press it to make sure that your heat press is more than capable of being able to print this stuff, and you can make sure that it tests on the fabric that you have the project destined for. So at any time, we feel free to send you any samples. If you order the marketing kit, it comes with full size, so full sheet transfers. We'll send you gang sheets. We send you a whole bunch of stuff so you could test out and see different colors. You could see how a 2-color looks versus a 1 color of the same transfer type. A whole bunch of stuff that's available there for you. Are there any setup fees when sending in an Easy Prints or Easy Prints Plus? There are 0 setup fees. 0 setup fees, 0 art fees. The only thing is that it's just going to be a little bit longer. And the Easy Prints Plus does, it is slightly more expensive, but there's no hidden fees whatsoever. So you could call it an art charge if you want. We just don't like calling it an art charge because typically in the industry, when someone says there's a setup fee or an art charge, I don't want to mention a specific company, but there's a company out there that says they have 15-cent transfers. And then immediately after you say, oh, cool, that sounds great, that's awesome, they charge a $25 setup fee. So they're not 15 cents anymore. We don't bait and switch like that at all. The price that you see in your cart is the price you pay. The price you see when you're designing or configuring your order is the price you pay. No hidden fees, no setup fees, no extra added art charges, no nothing. You send us a napkin sketch, we'll create you a full transfer. We have a full staff of designers available to help you out. Kathy, you're very welcome. Thank you for joining. Brian, thank you so much. Shmeka, Cyril, Jules, thank you. Very, very, very happy to help. I'm just scrolling through, making sure we got all of the questions. Goof Proof, of course, yeah, right around $2, Cyril. Santos, gracias. De nada, absolutely. We are happy to help. Dolores, thank you guys so much for joining us. We have another one coming up in about 2 weeks. It's going to be on a whole bunch of stuff that you could print, not just t-shirts or uniforms, but everything from tote bags to koozies. And we're going to talk about how you could print those really super easily with Goof Proof or Elasticprints or the products just like we talked about today. But I think even we might do some live pressing. I'll turn the camera on and we'll have the studio set up and be able to show you guys some really cool techniques along with a full presentation like this. But as always, Michelle, thank you so much. Michael, you guys are very, very welcome. Thank you guys for joining us. And my name's Dave, Transfer Express, and we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Take care. Have a great day. Happy pressing too.